The Lone Star Halo, brought to you in part by Noble L Works, just outside of Anaheim Stadium and the Pond, or the Honda Center, where you can get drink specials just by mentioning Halos in the infield. Also brought to you in part by 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets is a place to go to get 10% off of any ticket purchase just by also mentioning HITI, Halos in the infield. Now enjoy the show.
Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Welcome to the Halos in the Infield post-game podcast with Todd Fox, sponsored by Noble Ale Works Brewery, as well as 714 Tickets. This is your nightly destination for all things Los Angeles Angels. Come join Todd as he recaps every thrilling and disappointing moment from tonight's game, win or lose. Get ready for insightful analysis, fan reactions, and Todd's engaging commentary. Plus, fans can call in live to the Halo Hotline to have their voices and opinions heard as well.
It's the Halo Hotline.
Stay tuned in for your chance to win free Halos merchandise with our weekly trivia.
It's all about the game.
It's time to dive into the heart of Angels baseball with Todd Fox on the Halos in the Infield postgame podcast.
There's a drive from Mike Trout. See you later. That is long gone.
It's the Todd Fox Postgame Podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Todd Fox Postgame Show. Thanks in part by, this show's brought to you in part by the Angels parking lot staff and the Anaheim police for being, and for doing absolutely nothing and not doing their job. They are bullshit. We sat in the parking lot for over a half hour. I know the Ducks played at the same time. I know they got out at the same time, but they sure as hell weren't working at all to help anybody get out of the parking lot. There's still people trying to leave the parking lot. So with that being said, hello everybody and welcome into the post-game show. Another home opener, another loss. And we're gonna talk about how this game went down. There's a lot of interesting things and a few takes that I have going on about how the Angels presented themselves post Ohtani, because there's a lot of people out there that want to say things are going to be drastically different. It's, they're not knowing how they're going to feel. There was a vibe to this stadium. And first and foremost, before I get into my rant, I will have to say that this is what we wanted for the Angels to play like, after Ohtani. We wanted them to be in games. We wanted them to not struggle and always go for the home run, try small ball. We'll get into all that. And I could take losses like this. Trust me, it sucked being there, and it was frigid cold on top of it. One of the coldest games I've gone to, like with a wind chill of about 49 degrees. It was pretty cold out there, So I went to another game when I was in Memphis one time watching the Redbirds, the AAA affiliate of the Cardinals, and that was about 29 degrees. So that was the coldest. This was the second coldest baseball game I've ever been to. So, yeah, there was kudos to everyone who roughed it out tonight. There was a lot of blankets in the seats. Now, again, but before we get started, too, I heard, unfortunately, Trent Rush spewing his bullshit on the way home. And there's a few callers that got on the show and were like, hey, Rush, how come they're not signing, this team would be so much better if we started, sign some of these starting pitchers, and he just glossed over it. Someone mentioned Artie, glossed over it. He's a piece of shit. Asshat Trent Rush. That's what I'm going to call him. He's next to Propaganda Prime Minister, AKA PP Roger Lodge, because it's the same thing, dude. Like they don't come with it real. If you're not positive, they won't take your phone calls. If you're not real, if you're being too real, they'll just brush you off to the side and be like, hey, it's okay, because I think that I believe in this team. This team is young. You got 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds. Forgetting the fact that this whole, budget that the Angels had and their cap, they had a salary of $200 million just a year and a half ago. It's down to 109. They've shaved off over $100 million and still trying to blow smoke up your ass. So with that being said, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the presentation, because there's a few things I want to get into before I actually get into the X's and O's, between the lines, whatever you want to call it. The Angels had a presentation, if you weren't there, that was, in my opinion, outstanding compared to years past in the same old same old every, year with a Calling All Angels. This one was elongated Calling All Angels. Of course, the song was there, but it was dumbed down a little bit. My biggest complaint over the last few years was, how are the Angels going to show their younger fans, or the fans that have been around only the last few 5-7 years, or the Ohtani years, about the true history of the Angels, if you're just going to show videos and not show who the players are in those videos and what they did in those videos? Very short clips, and it's been shitty the last few years, let's be honest. But this presentation, I doubt it's going to be all year, but it was very long, and it really highlighted every player's accomplishment, from cycles to multi-home run games, outstanding catches, batting titles, no hitters, all kinds of stuff, save records. They put the names, the numbers, the stats with every video clip, and I was impressed. I was sitting in my seat like, wow, this is amazing. They have never gone into such detail, and it's a good way to teach your younger fans about the great history of the Angels. And so I thought they got an A+ for that. I thought that was amazing. No, there's a few differences in the stands. There was an atmosphere that was a little bit tense in the beginning until that started playing, because you had the memoriam thing. And then it was a little weird because I think the presentation went a little too long, and you actually had the Red Sox not being able to be fully introduced. They only did the manager and their 9 players, and that was it. And then after that, it went into the Angels, and they were able to do not their medical staff. They just said, hey, this is the Angels medical staff, and just did a quick camera view. And then it went to the managers, or not the managers, the coaches. And then it went to the reserves real quick, by the way. And then it got into the starting players. Now, I posted a video of myself and a lot of the other fans booing the shit out of number 6 ass, and that is Rendon. And rightfully so. He got a lot of hate, and it was great. I have to also give an A+ to the fans, because there was this bullshit, and I'm going to name them. Top plays. Angels top plays. Shitty site, number 1. Number 2, all they do is take videos and put them up there. They bought most of their fans. If you don't know, if you have top plays, hey, whatever, you follow them, that's great. They have the shittiest takes, and one of their takes was, I want to give this guy a standing ovation because of all the hate. He deserves it. Really? A guy who's making $38 million, who says he doesn't like baseball, who doesn't interact with the fans until forced to at the red carpet. You want to back that guy up? Oh, I'm sorry, top plays. I forgot that you were a Cincinnati Reds fan just a few years ago. You've never experienced playoff baseball because you were a Reds fan before you bought that site. So I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm putting it out there. I'm calling top plays out. So with that being said, they want to go and make this thing about, oh, we're going to make a big thing because we got 90,000 followers. Oh, yeah, okay. Half of your bots are followers. How does the math add up when you have 90,000 followers, right? Yet you produce a video or you show a clip of a highlight from Bally's and only get 1,200 likes. Yeah, those are bots, my friend. That's making you look good, and you don't do any commentary. You don't do any podcast. So get off of it, dude. And when you come up with a shitty take, you best believe I'm going to call you out. So you're backing that dude, and I'm glad even the Halo honks were booing the shit out of Rendon. Because why? He deserved it, and he's deserved all the hate, even with his spring training antics and his bullshit off the field last year. Yet you have Trent Rush, when I'm listening on the way home, say, hey, he was that first guy to throw a punch in that Seattle game. That's his only goddamn highlight, is being injured and being the first one out to throw a punch. He's a meathead because he was also the first idiot to throw a punch at the fan in Oakland. So don't sell me on this guy's great and needs a standing ovation, because you know what they did? The top plays is little thing. They made it go viral, and everyone was clowning him, and it's good. They booed the shit out of Rendon every at bat and gave him a stupid, what was it called? A sarcastic standing ovation when he actually got on base late in the game. That should tell you something. Angel fans get called out all the time for being too nice, for being too myopic and drinking whatever Kool-Aid that Artie and stupid AM 830 always push against us. Always. Because that's how it always is. There's rare fans like myself and you that actually have thought process in their own mind to think for themselves, judge things for themselves, and hey, if a spade's a spade, call it a spade. Not if a spade's a spade, call it a chicken. That's what AM 830s does. So again, I'm calling out all the bullshit, and I have to get that off my mind first. Second, once the game got started, the Angels looked flat for the first couple innings. They sure did. I mean, they looked flat. And Griffin Canning, on a night where I'm telling my girl, and she's telling me, actually, no, I got to correct that. My girl tells me, Steve Lee, she says, you know what? I don't like tonight's weather because there's going to be a lot of home runs hit, and I'm just hoping the Angels don't give up a lot of home runs. I'm hoping they're the ones hitting the home runs. Well, she tells me halfway through, I was wrong. Second inning, Griffin Canning, we're not sitting behind home plate, okay? We're sitting first base side, but you could clearly see there's no movement on that fastball. None. It's a straight dart down the middle. When you saw the opposing pitcher, he had movement and was keeping it down. For whatever reason, whether it was O'Hoppe calling it, Canning calling his own pitches, the coaching staff calling the pitches, or the overall strategy for the night, it was not the greatest strategy. No. Tyler O'Neill led off the game or the second inning with a home run. Casas, or whatever the hell you say his name, hit a home run, 2-0. Those were moonshots. And they got in the atmosphere and they were gone. So it was 2-0. Then still in the second inning, a guy gets on base by a hit batter. Then McGuire hits a 2-run homer. These aren't household names. This isn't your freaking Euclid. This isn't David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia, yada, yada, yada. The Boston Red Sox are about as mid as they've ever been in my lifetime as far as watching baseball. They've always had stacked lineups. This team is not stacked. They're not stacked, and they still put on a pretty good show, 4-0. And it stayed 4-0 till Shawna walked. Sano scored because the bases were loaded. You had 2 errors. You had a walk, and then he had 2 errors in that inning, which led to a run. Or I believe that was the error off the other one. I'm sorry. They got a walk. They just were walking like crazy in that inning. Got a run. It was 4-1. They immediately give it right back, and it's because again Suarez comes out, and I'm like, okay, we had to endure Suarez opening night, opening day in Baltimore. Now we're having to endure him here in Anaheim. It's like shit. We're out of luck. And so it's 5-1. Again, I liked what Ron Washington said in the post game. He said a lot of people, when we're down 4-0, would have closed the door and said goodnight. I'm one of those because, again, what have we had to see over the last 3 seasons? Bullshit teams not changing up the strategies, not doing in-game adjustments, and we're thinking, hey, it's just going to be the same swing for the fences. Good night, good night, good afternoon, good night, whatever. It's game's over. But no. The Angels got a couple breaks. They got a couple errors in the 6th inning to load the bases for O'Hoppe. And I'm telling you, we came down to the, I believe it was the 200 section. And we came down third base side to watch the game right there because it was so goddamn cold upstairs and the kids were getting cold. So we're like, hey, let's go downstairs. Let's watch the game right here. We're watching it on the concourse or whatnot. And the atmosphere was really good because O'Hoppe came up and bam, grand slam, and that place went nuts. And it was an exciting moment. My friend, half of James Squared, he was hanging out with us because we had both Jameses with us. Rob was there. Shout out to everyone who came by and said hi. But James jumps up and down and spills beer on my kid. It was hilarious. And we're just having a great time. Everyone was high-fiving strangers. It was great. 5-5. You can't enjoy that more than a couple minutes, 20 minutes, right? Not even that, 10 minutes. By the time the team switches over, Soriano comes out for that Ron Washington experience. Now, it all went great the first time. And we all know that this Soriano experience, until they either make him a starter or say, hey, you're going to be a bullpen guy, is not good. Do I agree with him pitching 3 innings every time, no matter what? Because there wasn't one pitcher while Soriano struggled in those 3 innings, not even throwing soft toss. Nobody warmed up. Nobody. So it was Soriano or bust, and it was bust tonight because he allowed a run in each of the 3 innings to close out the game, even though the Angels would come back and tie it with a Sano single and Ward scoring on a fantastic throw to home plate. So the Angels, they made it good. Look, like this, as much as it sucks that they gave up 2 home runs late in the game in the 8th and 9th inning to put the game away, and Kelly Jansen pretty much toyed with them in the 9th inning. You had all kinds of hits batters in this game. I think 5 Red Sox were hit, 3 Angels were hit, so 8 total guys were hit by pitch. You had a lot of compelling stuff going on in this game. You had booing of Rendon every time. It was fucking hilarious. It was great. And another thing I didn't mention with our ex-girlfriend Ohtani, I loved, and I will love you fans. I hope they continue to show him on the Jumbotron every game, because I got to circle back to that real quick. That whole presentation, and when Ohtani was shown in any clip, don't you give me that bullshit about, oh, it was just a few fans booing. No. Top plays got FU'd on the Rendon thing. The majority, I'd say 80% of the fans were booing his ass. When Ohtani came up, I would have to say it was the same, if not more. I mean, it was loud boos, and that took heart. And I think that the guys who produced that video and Artie and the PR staff weren't expecting that at all. And when Artie's ugly mug was shown, wow, did the boos come out. And I almost lost my voice booing that asshole. It was great. And his dumbass was there in his little private suite by himself with the lights out, so you couldn't see him. Someone got a picture of him and sent it to us. It was great. Great stuff by the fans tonight, because I've doubted this Angel fan base for so long. I really have thought, man, we just don't have the heart. We don't have the heart to speak up and talk shit on radio. We don't have the heart to boo when it's justified to boo. We're not going to boo all the time. We want to win. But when you're putting a shit product out there, you deserve every bit of it from the top down. But I love the fact that the fans were giving Trout extra love out of that loyalty. I love the fact that Ron Washington got a great ovation too, and those new coaches got good ovations as well. Now, before I get into the awards, obviously Angels lose 8-6, but it was a game that we wanted to see. We wanted to see this kind of effort. We don't want to see those shit efforts that we saw last year. And we got a good performance tonight, and I'll take that loss. I will. I'm not gonna bitch and moan about it, because they really tried tonight. They could have just, under Numbnuts Nevin, they would have given up, but they really tried to win. So let's go over the awards tonight. We're gonna go over the John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field. Let's get into it, shall we? The John Stamos Award for Best Player, and you could have gave it to a couple guys tonight, but I thought it was Tyler O'Neill. He started the home run, thing for the Red Sox with their 5 home runs tonight. He hit the first home run, and then he hit the pretty much the nail in the coffin, because you kind of still thought the Angels had a chance, but they gave up that second home run, and that was it. It was 8-6. Their lineup did pretty good. The Angels did have 10 strikeouts tonight. Double-digit strikeouts for the Angels. That's most likely going to give them a loss, but they only struck out 6 Red Sox. The Red Sox put a lot of, but O'Neill they put a lot of balls in play. Totals on the game: 6 runs, 6 hits for the Angels, 8 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Red Sox. But Tyler O'Neill, 3 for 4, 2 home runs, and 2 RBIs. He had a single. He's batting .409 out the gate. That's pretty good. Again, Mike Trout had an opportunity with the bases loaded tonight. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about who gets the the fun Nacho Night award, because nobody really wants that, but it's gonna go to a Halo.
I love the nachos, gas station nachos. I love those nachos, yeah. Gas station nachos, ow.
The Nacho Night Award goes to, of course, the worst player in the field, and there's nominations out there. You can go Anthony Rendon, although he's batting a robust 0.43. He got that hit, an infield single, and even then they gave him a sarcastic ovation. Shonawell extended his streak by getting a walk with the bases loaded and got an RBI out of it. Mike Trout, though, 1 for 5, and again, he's either feast or famine. That's kind of concerning. He has 3 home runs, 3 RBIs, but you got to start ripping some singles. He's uppercut swinging, like Robert was saying to me in left field. He's not really like trying to just put the barrel on the bat on the ball and try to go with it and get singles, and that's troubling too. Taylor Ward got a single and he scored twice because he had he got on base with an error as well. Drury went 0 for 4, but he did get a run because of a hits Batman, I think, or a single, or not a single. He got a walk. And you could give it to Moniak, because again, we've been crying for small ball, and they could have got small ball tonight. He went 0 for 4 and could have dropped down a bunt twice, and it didn't go through, and that killed him. You could, and a lot of people say, well, you should have gave the Stamos to Ohapi. He hit the big grand slam, but they didn't get the win. I'm not gonna be AM 830 and be like, hey, we lost 9-1. Let's give it to Mike Trout, who hit the solo. No, the winning team got it done, and that's all there is to it. Neto went a disappointing 0 for 4 as well. But if I'm going to tell you who I'm going to give it to, it's not going to be Griffin Canning either. I'm going to give it to, Jose Soriano. Soriano, 3 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and the losing pitcher. That's not good, dude. Again, 3 innings pitched. If after he gave up that first run, I would have been very hesitant to run him out there to second. But the fact that you ran him out there to second, okay, gave up another run. Don't run him out there in the 9th. You have other pitchers. So again, effectively, Soriano's gonna be shut down for 2 or 3 days because he pitched 3 innings. It doesn't make sense. Garcia pitched a third of an inning. I think got a strikeout. Suarez went an inning. Canning, a disappointment tonight. 4 2/3, 4 runs on 5 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Gave up 3 home runs. That was terrible. Crawford was cruising to a victory before he ran into trouble. The bullpen, though, however, worked out for the Red Sox. Although Wisniewski, or whatever his name is, gave up 4 runs, charged because of all the walks and shit. Still, they were able to, the back end of the bullpen worked, whereas ours did not. So the Angels take the loss tonight, 8-6. But again, there was a lot to pull out of this. The presentation was a little weird too. The 8th inning, they could have gotten the rally monkey up there, did nothing. The 9th inning, they started with the rally monkey music, House of Pain, then stopped abruptly and then played a video of a weird rally monkey video. It was just weird at the end. But the fans were hoping for a comeback, but it just did not happen. So let's get into the comments, because we got a lot to go through real quick here. Let's see. Kyle Strange chimed in with glad everyone booed Ohtani, Rendon, and Artie Moreno. Patrick Carrillo says balls in my mouth. Robert says blowpen strikes again on the home opener. God, wonder if Artie saw that what we needed was pitching. Rendon sucks, aka Steve Elise. Let's see. Correct on both. The chair says. Jacob says, is this a buttercup? Shoot. You know what? I don't know, because the way they played, I mean, Soriano could. He was. I don't know, man. It's tough, dude. That is tough. I think this one feels like this, though. Not a buttercup, but more like this. Typically. A deeper meaning, yeah. Sing it if you know it. It's a Savage Garden night. The home opener. Oh, wait a minute. Also a buttercup. You're right.
Why do you build me up?
Buttercup, baby, just to let me down.
Mess me
Yes, me
around
around and it works for long. Well, hockey hits the grand slam just for us to lose.
I love you still. I
need you
more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start.
Emotional damage.
Yep, that just brings me back to last year. Marty says, for those who stood and applaud Rendon, please wait till he actually gets a hit. Come on. Let's see. Emotional damages did that one right now. They should have gone to more in the 8th inning after Soriano pitched the 7th. You had 2 lefty batters due up. Yeah, it made no sense. One Jets pod, he chimes in with, oh no, we suck again. I think it's this one.
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, exactly. Balls, and blowpen, balls, and bullpen. There's a lot of balls tonight, and a lot of ones that left the stadium tonight. A lot of balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Also, Q Bally's. There's too many home runs of Q the Bally's. Let's see. I can actually handle a loss like this too, even though it sucked. We battled hard. We did. Balls in traffic on the I-5. No kidding, dude. How was the loaded nacho and whiskey meal? They didn't have that one Jets pod. I did like that that you posted, but if anything, that waffle stuff looked great. But there you go. Someone said something negative about our Lord and Savior Artie Trent Rush. Q, how dare you? Yeah, exactly. Grillmaster's spot on right there, because that is how it goes, man. You say anything against him and you get a huge
how dare you,
and then you get the freaking the dial tone you're hung up on for sure. Coldplay, I mean, Chris Martin was having an adventure of a lifetime on the mound. Sapphire says, no lie, I was calling him MVP to him trolling purposes. I love it. Let's see. Also, One Jet Spot says, you're a loser organization when your fans got to try and start a fan-wide standing ovation for a guy who hasn't done shit since being here. Let's bring up 2019 again. Exactly. Now batting number 6, Anthony Rendon, PA announcer, cue the boo to stink, or brother stinks. Oh yeah, dude, I'm telling you, again, it was I was so happy with the fans, dude, for really going after that guy, because they could have just did the old Halo honk thing and just cheer for him, but no, they went after him, and I love it, dude. They were really going in on him, and he deserves every bit of it, dude, because they should play this when he bats, because that's what he does out there. He doesn't do anything. He sucks, dude. Let's see, where's that other one I was looking for, that soundbite? Because again, I didn't get a chance. I was out all day today. I did not get home on time to fix everything, so I was trying to, and it just did not work. So let's see, let's get back into the comments here. We got a bunch to get through. Let's see, make sure I don't miss any right here. Okay. Rendon love baseball. Justin Rendon love baseball. Why Hayden? Also, Angels came out and angeled the first 4 or 5 innings. They sure did. They were pretty bad, but they adjusted. They adjusted, something that we're not used to. Griffin struggled a bit. What killed him was throwing his pitches in the middle and down the middle. All of the Sox home runs were down the middle. Yeah, there was no movement on him at all. Let's see. The Tristan guy, Todd, it's pronounced Cases. I don't care. Angels are winning the 2024 World Series. Justin Option says trust. Wow, that is a true Halo honk right there. He must be having that Artie special for sure. Let's see. Also, Terry Smith said the balls wouldn't carry in cold weather. Well, he was lying. Todd could have banked 300 if you would have had better memory. Yeah, my memory was terrible, Robert. Not me, James. James Squared says, I was the one who betted that O'Hoppe would hit the grand slam. He did. The chair called it before it happened. Still owe me a hot dog, by the way. Robert says Soriano was throwing heat, which is great if you throw 1 inning. He threw 3 innings, and those Sox were sitting dead red on the fastball. All night they were. Absolutely. One Jets pod says, sure, I'm going to miss going to Halo games for a while. That's right. He's on a little strike right there. If I had a strong enough arm, I'd throw my drink at the scoreboard if they showed Otani on the or Artie on that video, which they did. One Jets Pod does say though that there is some gleam of hey, some being positive here, because last year, he's right. We would have lost this game 8-1. This game wouldn't have been close, but the Angels battled, and it was a fun game to be at, to be honest with you. The chair says, haha, too much Stamos to handle right there. Nacho Knight should have been John Wisniewski. Nacho Knight loop. No, Jay says, I was hoping they would have played Adele tonight. Maybe he will be back in the lineup tomorrow. The way it looks right now, Jay from X, I think they're going to play him come what is it called, the Sunday finale. That would be my guess right now, but I could be wrong. Cold cheese on nachos night, dude. And we got the hot chocolate for the kids, and again, the hot chocolate was not hot. Rendon is absolutely under the Renifo line. 043, absolutely pristine. And you know what sucks, Grillmaster, is you got a guy like, I know he's a little banged up. Maybe that's why he's not playing, but I much rather see a banged up Renifo in the lineup than freaking Rendon. That is pathetic. Even the most Halo honk guys are calling in the shows and being like, hey, this Rendon experiment is pretty stupid. Facebook user says, Sean Will's streak ended at 30 games. Trent Rush stated MLB went back and gave an error instead of a hit 6 games ago. Really? Are you sure? Because I thought he was still going for the record. Man, I hope that's wrong. James Cano checks in with, I think we will win these type of games next year because of the experience of this year's team is still learning a lot. And James, you may be right, but I think you've got to add pitchers. This was a year that everyone was on the cheap, and you were able to take, advantage of a Boris client. And they didn't do it. They didn't even try. Don't even think for a second this team tried, because they lied to you about Otani. They were like, oh yeah, we knew it was going to start at $500. No, they didn't. Because then they backtracked and said, I didn't know it was going to go over $400. It's like, they're lying, dude. Balls, an opening game losses. Another opening game loss. So
time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John
opening day losses. Let's see. Also, Nacho Night is for Squid just because. Midapi says no rally monkey is why we lost. On a broadcast, they were saying that statistically, from starting and relievers, they have the team's best ERA so far for start of a season. That is some Bally's bullshit right there. That is such a lie, dude. That is just these guys. Hey, okay, we get it. I'm serious. I get it. Whoa, you guys are lying. You guys are lying. You cannot be proud of a staff that is mid at best. They won't stop. See, there's no convincing them, dude. It's just that's all it is to it, man. JT says, this was my first home opener. First time going to a home opener. Well, I'm sorry, man. This is like, what, third, fourth in a row for me losing. Savage Garden of the first Savage Garden of the season. I want to stand Metalheads Unite. Tomorrow, Detmers versus Garrett Whitlock. Book it tomorrow. We're going to get the victory. I'm just calling it early. I think the Angels bounce back and get the victory. We'll make the Red Sox do the same. Mateo says, James! And it was a cold night. Could have led to these misfired pitches, but didn't really happen for the Red Sox. Maybe on the walks, but not the home runs. Grillmaster says, oh, and those 2 errors were hilarious, by the way. Your version of the Buttercup sucks. Play the classic one from the Foundations. I can't play the ones that are, copyrighted. I'll get strikes. So, no, I'm not going to play that one. That's why I play the guy covering them. So, yeah, if you want to pay for stuff, go for it, but I don't. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. And then anything that I could use that's non-licensed, I'm for it. That's for you, Mateo. Let's see. Also, let's get back in these comments here. Is it scrolled up on me there? Tonight, Mickey was not so fine. And there is actually a guy singing that. Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. And he was like, hey, Mickey. I'm like, no. When a guy sings it doesn't sound too good. Let's see. I hate Han Solo homer. Todd. Red Sox hit 2 solo home runs tonight, 2 others earlier in the game. Todd has emotional damage. See, again, if it's against us, they're still scoring more than what we would do.
Emotional damage.
They're getting a lot of runs, and we're not. So that's what sucks. Balls, and Ron Washington for 3 innings with Soriano. Mateo says, why would you bring an inexperienced pitcher in there if you're going to still be in the game you're close in? Eddie says, what happened to the Jack in the Box Snoop Dogg Munchie Meal soundbite? I X that one for right now because they're not using it. Right now it's all about the smash burger. Smash it in your face. That's all they're doing right now. Let's see. Rendon got a case of the booze. Patrick saying 714 tickets. 714 tickets. By the way, so I bought 6 tickets for tomorrow, right? Through 714 tickets. And you can use the Halos in the Infield promo code to get 10% off. And it also gives you an additional 5% off. So I bought 6 tickets. They were about $45 each. I got $50 off. So it came out to about 264, and it went down to about 214. And then on top of that, with the Halos in the Infield promo, I got $13 to my account, because if you create an account, it goes to they give you 5% back. So I have $13 to spend towards additional tickets. So that's pretty dope. And it doesn't have to be for Angel tickets. It could be for any other team, whatever you want to use. Use Halos in the Infield. So all you have to do is put HITI, and you get that 10% off, and then you get the 5% off too. So that's a little bit of a. I would go there because look, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I have the Game Day app. I have, I've done Ticketmaster, but won't do them anymore because they have ridiculous service fees, and it's literally like the only time I'm going to actually quote Roger in one of his rare truths that he tells. It's true. On 714 tickets, the price you see is the price you get. So when it says $50 a ticket, it's literally $50 a ticket. It'll show you no service fees. So again, if you're able to use the 10% off, it helps out. Trust me, it's really cool. I would suggest using that for sure. The MLB Shauna will streak at 30 after changing the ground ball. That is bullshit. If it's done, the game's done. Don't go back and change it. That sucks, Grillmaster. Silent E says they played the Grand Slam highlight 4 times during the last few innings, and we still lost. I guess Trout needed to try to increase his penis size after that with all these back swinging and misses. And that sucks too, because he was given opportunities to do something late in that game, and he popped out and was just, you could tell he had an uppercut swing and was trying to hit for the fences. I thought O'Hoppy's next at bat when he had a chance to get a run in as well. Same thing, swinging for the fences. That's where I think you come up there and you just say, hey, man, stay within yourself. Read the pitcher. Don't try to do too much. But if it's there, if you feel it, take it. But if not, go with it. You know what I mean? Go with whatever is right there. The boos were intermediate. FU in between the boos were gold. Mateo says, I was worried O'Hoppy's ball wasn't going to get out. It was great, though, when it left, though. Roofy won Jets pod and bring him to a game. I got to. Washington definitely will have a Mohawk book it tomorrow, Martin says. Mateo says the 4 runs Winkowski allowed were all unearned due to all the errors. Mateo says, what is our record in home openers? I don't even want to look that up because I'm pretty sure it's a losing record. James, can you play the replay of the Grand Slam? James, dude, I swear to God, dude, on Monday, he's going to be recapping these games, and he's going to be just all about it, dude. And if it's a bad weekend, dude, he's going to come out like this.
If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo honk for life like me, then shut up.
Yeah, he's gonna yell at everybody. We could have lost, or we could have used Aaron Loop tonight. Oh man, how dare you? How dare you, One Jets pod? You don't talk about Aaron Loop like that. That is terrible, because that is not a guy we want to remember. I'm loopy just thinking about it, to use a Grill Master joke, because whenever he came out, it should have been to this music. So how dare you?
How dare you?
Let's see. Hey, Bally's Otani homer today. I don't even want to talk about that girl. Not at all. Todd, the streaks ended at 30 and most on Twitter. That is so stupid. If we start, Renifo Anna wants to know over Rendon, where do we bat him? Lead off or 8? Lead off and put Rendon at 8. Silene says Rendon has pretty good numbers on leadoff, unless that was an illusion too. That was a little bit of success last year. They're trying to justify that $38 million contract. Grillmaster says, Todd, the comment I meant about the ERA was the Red Sox. The Red Sox have the best team ERA for starter and reliever. Oh, okay. My bad. Marty says, even an error getting on base should be recorded as being a base right, regardless how he got there. That's a tough one, because usually errors cancel everything out, so probably not. If they're going to call it that, then there you go. The person who signs Hey Mickey is Tori Basil. That's a woman who's signing it, Todd. No, I'm saying there was fans. There were guys singing it. It's kind of weird. The second O'Neill home run was the knockout punch. It sure was. $25 Munchie Meal. Cue Snoop Dogg. The guy singing Hey Mickey thought it was Pride Night. Whopper. The chair says, I need a ticket for tomorrow. Where are you sitting tomorrow? We are going to be in, I think, 102. We're going to be like on close to the foul pole on the bottom. Please give us a 5-star review, Todd. Thanks, Anna. James, can you replay the Ohapi home run 40 more times? Balls, and a 5-star review. I like that one, actually. That's not bad right there. Balls, and 5-star
Time
review.
for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John
5-star review. Balls, and expensive ticket prices. It's your boy says, tell me why it took 40 minutes for some Kathy cookies. Laugh out loud. Luckily, I saw the grand slam, though. There you go. I mean, like, they don't work fast enough over there with those cookies, but those cookies are like crack, dude. I swear to God, they're so good. I want to see Sano get a hold of one. He probably will at some point. Hey, Gooby, show me that homer. Q Bally's. Also, Ducks lost, but young rookie Leo Carlson scored an amazing goal. Ducks always lose. That's what sucks, Anna. Little Wayne says Moniak has looked awful this season. Dude is hitting 0 and came up empty in clutch tonight. He sure did. If he lays down that bunt, this game could be totally different. You realize that? He came up 2 with the bases loaded and popped out. The weakest pop out you'll ever see at third base. Like, the umpire was already throwing up his fist, because we were third base side at that time, before the ball even came down, because he was given the whole, the infield fly rule. But I don't think it was hit high enough to be an infield fly rule, to be honest with you. Teams are always scoring more than us. That would make up for the losing record, that's for sure. Again, I'm not James. James, play the clip. Eddie says, what does the free agent market look like at the deadline? There's not much on the free agent deadline. Look, the idiot Trent Rush, asshat, as I like to call him, he was saying in the post game, which he doesn't do every night, he said literally, hey, this team, if they're in it by the trade deadline, they're going to be active. They're going to be adding pieces. So a caller just before had said, how come we're not signing free agents? Good teams sign free agents, and if the team starts to falter, you flip them at the deadline, get prospects back, and then start the process over in the offseason to get free agents to bolster your roster and your holes. Let your young kids get stronger in the minors. And then if the same cycle repeats itself and you're not winning, then you can flip them for more prospects. And that's how you build a freaking minor league system. The Angels don't do that. It's get these high price free agents like Rendon who are untradeable. So even if they were good, you can't flip them for anything. And Trout, he doesn't want to go nowhere. You can't flip him either. And you had every opportunity to flip that girl Otani, and you didn't do it. And you could have got a huge load for him. Pause. But that's the problem with the Angels. They don't run it like a conventional organization. A team like Pittsburgh, is on the come up because they've been doing that for the last couple of years. A team like Baltimore will strip down to nothing and show you their wanker spanker and then turn it around, put some clothes on and build yourself up again. So Trent's theory of, hey, we can go out there and just get some more guys. With what prospects, bro? Literally, are you going to trade away a guy who just barely got here internationally, or Dana? You barely got some guys that are looking like they could be, major league ball players someday soon. And you're going to flip those guys too for a season that, again, if you would have spent in the offseason, you wouldn't be thinking of doing what you're talking about now. So let's just say, best case scenario, this team is hanging around by a wild card spot. There's no free agency you could pluck at the deadline. You're going to try to trade, and you think that anyone's going to give you a good player for Sano or for any of these other role players you got for Adele? No. They're going to want some prospects, the best in your organization. Are you going to flip those too? The Angels are stuck between a rock and a hard place because they didn't spend and get any free agents, and you've let your minor league system suck for so long because you didn't spend money on scouting. You didn't trade players when you had the chance to get just already made players from other teams to then stockpile your minor league system. And instead, your AAA organization is mostly made up of veterans. So that's not showing organizational depth. They may win some games, but who cares? Who cares? A lot of those guys are in their mid-20s to 30s. Come on, man. What are we doing here? And we're supposed to be like, oh, we're happy. We could we can flip these guys at the deadline. What the fuck are you talking about, Trent? Such an idiot. I swear, dude. I mean, if there's anyone outside of Roger that can push that propaganda down your throat, it's Trent Rush. It is Trent Rush. That guy is just the epitome of just like it's sad. It is sad to know that we just, and then Artie was there getting booed, and I hope he hears what little guys like me say on these podcasts. I hope because for a minute I don't want to believe that he's not hearing what any of us are saying, what you're saying. Because it just kills me, man. It just kills me that this team could be so much better had they just committed to a rebuild a few years ago. We'd be sitting in a completely different spot right now. And I'm happy with the way we're playing under Ron Washington. That's the funny thing is that with all the bad that we've had to endure, this is the best they've been in a while. And if this is going to be the cohesive thing, the rally cry is, hey, post Ohtani, let's win without that guy. Screw him. I'm all for that too. But then again, you're still thin in the minors. You still didn't get no free agents. Just think, man, if you would have picked up a couple of these pitchers, yeah, they can't hit, but they could sure pitch and not give you outings like today, where again, it was one bad inning. But that one bad inning, you take away those 4 runs, the Angels win this game hands down. Same thing in those first couple games against Baltimore. These games will be as consistent as the games that they'll play good as well. That's just the learning curve that this team is going to be on. And it's going to suck at times, but it'll be good at times too. We're just going to have to take the good with the bad. Jason says, come by, say hi, what's up? I'm working Sunday. Vamos Gigantes. Oh, okay. I'll be there Saturday. I'm going to be there Sunday. I'm total reaching out to 714 for a sponsor for One Jets Pod. When we get big enough, not enough people are about them right now. Yeah, they're a good sponsor to have, by the way. The cookies in the stadium brought to you by Kathy. Let's see, how's he gonna drag me from 4 hours away? I'll find a way. I'll find a way to get up there, my man. How dare you hate on Uncle Aaron? Let's see. Astros, Dodgers, and Yankees lost. It was a good night, except for the Angels losing. Want to have a cleanup in aisle 5? Roger Lodge, John Stamos blind date. Todd for front office. Let's go. I would love to do that, by the way. Ohtani's I'm riding with Baltimore all year this year. Mateo says, Mateo also says the 1-for-1 to Ohapi is hit high and deep to left center field, and it's out of here. Logan Ohapi hits a game-tying grand slam. Dan says, hey, are you live? Yes, I am. And by the way, my phone died too, and I was looking for you, Dan. We were right by the Modelo sign, so we got to have that beer. I don't know if you're going to be there tomorrow, but I will be in attendance tomorrow. One Jet Spawn says, I'm glad I got to attend opening night last year for the first time. That was cool. The Cubs player Michael had a couple in his bush today. Jeez. Robert says, man, if I was Artie now, I'd build a squad, defer all the money and sell the team before I had to pay. Exactly. But we all know he has unfinished business. Can we trade for Andreas Munoz? I don't know who that is. Will Adele set fire to baseball Sunday? Rumor has it Adele has potential. He could. Got to miss Chad. I want him to wallop the ball when he comes up. Anna says he hit a homer and robbed a go-ahead hit. Sure did. Marty says the old tear it down and show your wanker spanker. That's the move, man. Let's see. Making sense doesn't matter to Artie. The only thing that he cares about is making sense, and you're expensive at your expense, no less. Dugout report ranked Artie sorry as number 11 of 30. I don't know how it's not 20 or less. I don't get that either. I really don't. One Jet Spot says, I'm still worried about the rotation is going to be ass outside of Anderson and Detmers, in my opinion. I'm hoping Silseth gets it together. That guy is a guy that a lot of guys like James and a few others predicted to be good, and I think they're right, but he's had a bad start. Grillmaster and Anna for manager and pitching coach. Dan says, that was a good game. Unfortunately, we lost. This team has some life. Can we win the division? No, but we can make it interesting. And that's what we want. We obviously know the warts on this team, but as we get close to the end of the show, I hope that this team can just continue to battle and fight like this, because it'll make it entertaining. We know that they have their limitations. So if they're able to play good and just fight, then I don't think we have a problem with it. It's just we can ignore or just call it for what it is with Artie and with all the rest of the crap on this team. But if they can win despite Artie and Rendon, because think about it. If Rendon's going to give you this on a nightly basis or less, you're essentially playing 9-on-8 baseball. You really are, because Rendon's not a factor, and he hardly shows it on defense either. So, I mean, you're playing 9-on-8. And that's got to suck. And you know the players aren't stupid. So they may say, hey, Rendon, man, he's so cool. You guys are just misunderstanding him, because they have to tote that line. They have to act like company guys. And I get it, because you don't ever want to call out your players. It's the same reason why the Players Association takes care of their players. Like you don't want to overstep that boundary. So they're not going to shit on their player unless they really have some problems with them. And that's when they switch teams. But if they're on the same team, everyone's going to walk that company line and be like, oh, no, Rendon's just misunderstood. He's a really good guy. I'm telling you guys, he's going to come through. A lot of those guys hate that guy. They do. It's just they can't say it. Anna says, dude, how about that home run? Like, totally rad, dude. Wash. Is it that? That's nice. Mateo says, did you see Oakland A's are playing in Sacramento for the next 3 seasons? That's pretty good for them. They need to get out of there. No one's going to be showing up. That whole Oakland thing is as bad as Tampa, mismanaged all the way. So I feel bad for Oakland in a way, but then I think about Oakland and I'm like, I don't give a shit. And because I feel bad a tiny bit, but as far as Oakland fans treating us the way they have, and we've never really, what sucks about Oakland and any other team in our division, we've never really faced them in the playoffs. All these years of being in the American League West, we've never had our rivalry go to another level other than Seattle for that 1-game playoff. That's it. We've never faced the Rangers in the postseason, never faced the A's in the postseason, never faced the Astros, just the Mariners that 1 game. That was it. So we've never established anything. So, like, I don't have a hatred for Oakland. I'm just laughing because in the span of about 5 years or so, they've lost the Raiders, they've lost the Golden State Warriors, and now they're going to lose the A's. And that's their fault. And you know what? Fisher's a shit owner like Artie, but he gave them plenty of time to fix things up there. And I'm telling you, they must like the unemployment money and not having jobs and restaurants and hotels making money and all that stuff. They must like not making money in Oakland. And it shows you why there's turds on every corner and there's homeless everywhere and there's condemned buildings everywhere. Because you let it go to shit. If you would have gave the Raiders a new stadium, trust me, it would have paid for itself in the long run. But politics always get in the way, and that's what happens. I mean, look, sports are sports. You can have someone that hates sports through and through, thinks that they're worthless, useless, doesn't do anything because he believes or she believes in science, believes in work, and schooling, and doesn't and thinks sports are stupid. What funds all these colleges? Sports. What brings money to cities and keeps them thriving? Sports. So you may not like it, but it pays for a lot of shit that you enjoy. So when it's taken away and you're in a spot like Oakland is, Oakland's going to really turn into a third world country if it's not already up there. I mean, it's already bad, but I mean, come on, man. you lost everything in 5 years. Yikes. That's terrible. Dan says Otani got more boos than Rendon. That was impressive. That was impressive. And I touched on that earlier. I loved that. It was our fan base showing some cojones for once. Tyler's home runs are sponsored by O'Neill's Clothing. Oh, geez. Rendon is cooked, bro. Not only will that dude not even finish the season, he's going down with a less than 200 batting average. I'm talking squid levels. Oh, man. That's tough. I need to call a game for Heedy this season. Well, maybe Mateo will have you in here in the booth when we do our thing right there. That pause. Trent and Roger, the propaganda prophets. I like that. The rotation is what scares me. We need another ace. We lost our ace last year. Our rotation is filled with 4 and 5 starters. Absolutely. Well, there was free agents out there to help us get 1s and 2s, and we got nada. I will say I did not like how Drury almost stole home, Mateo says. Yep. One jet spots, or I did like it, he was said. I wonder who the next GM will be. No way Perry resigns. I bet it will be another first-time guy because no one will want to work for this fucking fruit. Yep, and it's probably going to be someone that has no idea what they're doing. Oakland is about to become Brooklyn, Grillmaster says. Also, Todd, how would you feel if someone or somehow same way the Angels and Dodgers faced each other in the World Series? It'd be the greatest thing and the worst thing that ever happened here. It'd be the greatest thing because you would take that rivalry to a new level. And although we've never faced them in the playoffs, I still think to this day the Dodgers are our biggest rival. I don't care what Houston's done. I don't care what Oakland's done. Again, we've never faced them in the postseason, but we have that geographical rivalry with them. We have their fan base, who's a bunch of smug, arrogant assholes. Sorry, Dodger fans, but you are. And we can't stand them, and their players take on their persona. The media shoves them down our throat. Every year when Sports Illustrated was a thing, it was always preseason predictions. Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series. Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series. Every year, always wrong. But you had to have that propaganda all the time. Dodgers always getting the love. And we are the redheaded stepchild. And I think pushing the Los Angeles brand pushed the intensity level up. Dodger fans hate us for that. And it's funny because the Dodger fans are like, you guys are so stupid. You're calling yourselves the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we're like, idiot. We're not the ones that petitioned for it. We never liked it. We still don't like it. It's our dumbass owner. Oh, you guys wanted it. You're the Los Angeles Dodgers. Every one of us calls ourselves the California or the Anaheim Angels. Nobody says Los Angeles Angels with pride. Nobody. But Dodger fans are like, oh, nope, that was you. We don't have that kind of pull. So, I mean, that's what's hilarious about it. But we do have that rivalry with them, and I can't stand them. I hate the Dodgers. I absolutely despise the Dodgers. But the last few seasons has taught me something. Just don't pay attention to them in the regular season. They're going to win a lot of games. Betts is going to hit home runs. They're already shoving you down his throat for early MVP candidate. It's the first fucking week of the season. They're already talking MVP. Ohtani's home runs are like gold when they reach the freaking stands for some reason. You know, like it's stories all over your timeline. They're going to shove this shit down your throat all year, but what's it going to matter? I don't care if they win 130 games. I don't care. They're still going to choke, and it'll be glorious again. But then you'll have the Dodger fans come back. Well, where are you guys? You guys aren't in the playoffs. So, I mean, I would love to be in the postseason. Don't get me wrong. But if you're telling me I'm going to go 10 straight years and choke 10 straight times, I don't know if I want that. I mean, I'd like to go to the postseason and give a different look every time. There's no doubt about that, but you're not fooling nobody when you get to the postseason. Dodgers. Don't give me that shit. Dan says, I called James and he told me your phone died too. Yeah, my phone was out. Let's see. Mateo says they want to convert Oakland Coliseum into a soccer field. They should just tear it down and make it a landfill. That would make more sense. I got to take a shower and slowly get ready for a short siesta. All right, Grillmaster. Chokeland is run by dummy rats that are all idiots and a moron, Joey. Yep. Alex says, who gives a fuck about Oakland? Exactly. Little Wayne says, how can you blame the owner for wanting out of Oakland? Not even In-N-Out Burger can run a franchise in Oakland. Yeah, and when nobody's getting arrested and held for crimes, that's another reason to leave. That's why Walgreens is leaving. That's why a lot of places are leaving. Good guy doesn't equal the good player. Laugh out loud. Rendon won't show up tomorrow after today's effort. Dan says, oh, and Noble L ignoring the Heady discount. Oh, yeah, those guys have been pissing me off lately. So, again, you got to tell your bartenders about the Heady thing. And, again, that's why we're bringing business to you. And they're like, hey, never heard of them. That's a slap in our face. We got our logos there, damn it. They're advertising us supposedly there. So that kind of pissed me off, dude. When he had that experience today. And for laughs, I saw a Dodger fan throwing up in a sink in right field. That was great. I hate Seattle most out of our division. Fuck that franchise. Let's see. Dan says, I love my Rams, but I won't go to that liberal shithole ghetto and see them. Fuck LA. I hate LA sports. Angels don't count because we are in Anaheim. There you go. Silent E says, MLB has a little 1-minute video of Ohtani and Yamamoto playing. If you laugh, you lose. Compliment edition. And it was weird. Pretty cringe. Yeah, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just it's like I said, I'm willing to turn the page. I'm not going back on the Ohtani thing at all. Like it's just been tough. But I want to see where this team can go. It's just disappointing because we all expected him to be gone, to be real. I mean, you got to be stupid if you thought he was going to stay. But I would have loved to have gotten a haul of players for him. And then we could have been enjoying this team, and we could have been enjoying the young kids from other teams that we didn't know about, and getting to know our young kids and other teams' young kids coming in over here to help us out. But I guess we'll never know because it didn't happen in an alternative universe. Maybe it happened in a bad Marvel film. We could have gotten that ending, but no. Nothing there. Yamamoto is all fucking high. I do believe that too, Alex. I think that guy is going to be a Dodger regret. And I do think too, what's his name? The other pitcher they got from Tampa, the one that looks like Oppenheimer. I think he's going to bust too this year. I think he's going to get hurt like always. And the Dodgers are going to be between a rock and a hard place because they're going to be relying on Buehler coming off of Tommy John. And you know how that is. The first 6 months after Tommy John, you suck. and then you're going to work on old ass Clayton Kershaw. Now, credit to the Dodgers though. They're trying to think that they're going to get Clayton Kershaw from ring pop season when he only had to pitch about 6 starts before the postseason, because usually after Kershaw pitches about 10 or 12 starts, he starts to get hit a bit, and then the postseason rolls around and he sucks ass. So they're trying to be sneaky again and try, well, he's going to come back in about July, and then they'll give you about 8 to 10 starts before, but I don't trust his back either. So they're going to be in some pretty tough spot right there. At least originally we're from LA, unlike those fucktards. Exactly. They're Brooklyn. I always say Ohtani was a Dodger from the start. We got him on a technicality. We sure did, Silent. Who will be our compensation pick? Again, Dan, I mean, we're not going to get a Mike Trout, dude. We'll probably get a squid. That's probably who we're going to get. Yes, and I'm referring to Tyler Glass now. I think he's going to suck. Grillmaster. Let's see. Marty says, I know we lost, but not seeing the goofy bat boy putting on hats and the home run is a win in my book. And there's the thing too. I love the fact that we don't have a celebration this year, although I want one to come naturally. So if someone comes up with something legit, I'm all for it. I didn't want to see the Kabuto, or Kaboto, whatever, the kimono. I just want to see something new. And a lot of teams haven't done a celebration this year. They don't have a celebration. Angels just went back to the OG stuff. So we'll see what happened. But Bobby drinks Miller time. R. Martinez says, the base is loaded. I knew Trout wasn't going to produce. These are the moments I wish Trout would come through. Yeah, if he would have came through, he would have had it. Trade Rendon for Squid and then DFA him. It's a Kabuto, the samurai hat. We'll see. It's all the same stuff. All right, so we've gone on for an hour. This is probably the latest we've ever gone. It's 12:45. You guys are hardcore, and I love it. And I hope that you guys can join us on the podcast, because we'll have an interesting time on Sunday wrapping this series up, and then also just talking about what we talked about tonight, which was the insane way the fans were treating Artie, which we loved, which was, again, the booing of Artie and Rendon, the two biggest pricks of the organization, was very enjoyable, and I definitely had a great time. So this was awesome. This was awesome. So it was good experience. Real quick, last few comments here. Trade Moniak or Drury possibility. That's actually a possibility, dude. Because if Hicks performs good, or they have good performances from Adele, they may not trade Adele. Moniak may go, but they may. They would most likely trade Adele, because Adele has no options. There's more control in Moniak, and if they don't have to pay him, that's what they'll do. Facebook user says, first time hearing you after a game. Good times, even after a loss. Well, I appreciate it. I wish I had your name, but whenever Facebook comments come up, they just say Facebook user. So spread the word if you like the show. I'll be on every post game. This one was a little bit later thanks to the Ducks and Angels traffic leaving the stadium. It took me 45 minutes to get home. Best post game show all day today. Jeez. Or at least in the last 5 seconds. Rendon got a hit and might have jinxed the win. But yeah, we'll have 2 post games in 24 hours, because I'll be back on tomorrow a tad bit earlier, of course, because we're going to be. Oh, and if you're at the game tomorrow, real quick, come on by and say hi. Again, I put it in the thing. John Williams. Good. There you go. Appreciate it, John Williams, man. But if you guys want to, we're going to be there early. So probably like 3 or 4 by the Big A barbecuing. If you guys want to come by, say hi, chill for a little bit, have a hot dog or a burger. Why not? Throw back a beer with us. And then, R. Martinez, he got booed big time. But yeah, and then we'll be at the game, and then the post game show should be about a good 20 minutes after the game, maybe 40 minutes after the game. And then we should start with that. And then Sunday, I don't think I'm going to the game, so it'll be bam right after the game, as always. Because if I'm not going to a game, I could start the post game no later than 5 to 10 minutes after the game. But after when I'm driving back from there, I have to set everything up. So yeah, it's much faster this season, but yeah, we'll be on a more timely basis. So I appreciate everybody that was on. Stukas is ready to go with the other soundboard, which is getting uploaded, so that should be ready by Saturday or Sunday. I'm trying to finalize it tomorrow morning because I have a little league game to take the girl to and all that other stuff. So my day is gonna be busy tomorrow. So hope to see you at the game tomorrow. Hopefully the Angels get the victory and even this series up. Detmer's going tomorrow. I feel pretty good about that. Still an exciting game. First 3 innings I could have did without the way they played, but after that it was an exciting game. So wow, winning, Grillmaster. Thanks for all the comments, my man, and say hi to your girl for me, Anna, and everybody else out there. Have a good rest of your morning, as it is now Saturday. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Go Angels. And again, we got to get that win tomorrow. So let's get it back going again. So for everyone on Halos in the Infield, check out Believe and 714 Tickets. Good night, everybody.